Welcome guys to the first episode of Python programming course. In this episode, we are going to discuss how you can install Python in your system, and we will also run our first Python program in today's episode. If you are new to this channel, make sure to like, share and subscribe to follow me along this Python series. So without wasting much more time, we will directly go to the screen and see how you can install Python in your system. Okay, so the first thing which you need to do is you can search it on Google. Here we will download the Python. You can select the OS here. I am in the Mac OS. You can select for Windows. From here you can download the Python. Okay. If you are in the Windows system, you will see the Windows option here. Okay. So once that is done, we will set up Visual Studio Code in our system. You can type Visual Studio Code in Google and download that in your system. Okay. So you can select the Windows version, Mac OS version. And make sure if you are in the Windows version, you have to set up the environment path. So environment path in Windows or Python. Okay, so here you can see you can select the Python installation directory. That means generally it's in this users and username app data local programs Python version. Okay, or in C drive you will find the Python version. So this is how you can find the installation directory. You can open the environment variable window. For that you need to press the window key and type environment variable. So in the bottom left you will be able to see that kind of key, window key, and that there you will type environment variables and you have to click the edit environment variables. You will see that option. Click environment variable button, system properties window, edit the path variable, and in the environment variable dialog under system variable you will see this. So if you follow, you will find the option. Okay, you will find the edit option, and in the environment variable window click new and add the environment path. So wherever your Python directory is installed, so if it is inside C users and in this location, you have to paste it here in the environment variables, and if it is in the simple C Python version, so you have to paste that. Repeat the process to add the scripts subdirectory. Same process you have to follow. You have to add this path also. And once that is done, close all the windows by clicking OK and verify the setup. Okay. So to verify the setup, you have to open the command prompt and you have to type Python version. So this is how you can set up the basic Python. And I am also preparing one IDE for you guys to practice Python. Okay. Codzify.com Python IDE, and here you can run the Python program. Okay, I will set up this in production today or tomorrow. Okay, so till then we will use the Visual Studio Code, which will be more helpful for you. If you are in the Mac OS, we will check whether Python is installed or not. So Python is not installed. We will type Python 3 version. So we have this version of Python in our system. Now we will run our first Python program also. So for that you need to open the Visual Studio Code, and from file you have to open new file here. Okay, and here we will type, this is a basic Python program which will print hello world on the screen. Currently you don't have to worry about what is written here. We are just testing the things out, whether everything is set up properly or not. Okay, now from file you can save here, or you can see the shortcut here. This is a keyboard shortcut, Command S in Mac, and if you are in Windows, you will see Control Shift S. Okay, so I will press Command S in Mac, and here I will save first, because this is our first Python program, first.py. So why .py? .py is a Python extension. If you know how HTML code is written, you will see the extension of .html. If you are writing a JavaScript code, that will be represented using .js extension. So basically .py represents that this is a Python file and this is the name of the file. You can give any name to this file. Okay, so we have given the first.py for now. Okay, now inside terminal we will first we have to go to the path where this file is located. For that what you can do is I will write cd desktop. So cd means change directory and desktop means we have to move to desktop. We have to access the files inside desktop. Okay, so we are in the desktop now, and here we have to run the Python. So I will write Python 3 and the name of the file which we have is okay. So here you can see hello world is printed. So whatever changes you do, hello world, welcome to Python programming. Okay, and we will again save. Now if I make the change and directly run here without saving it, this will show me the previous code which was saved. Now to make this happen, we have to save this again. Either you can do this from here or use the Windows, you can use the keyboard shortcuts. Okay, now here I will run it again, and you can see the updated output is printed. If everything is set up properly, like you have installed the Python, you have set up the path in Windows. For Mac users, we don't have to do anything. If you are in Windows, you have to set up the environment path also. Okay, this is very easy. If you follow the steps, you will understand that. Okay, and also you have to download this Visual Studio Code to make sure you can run the Python programs. I hope you got the basic understanding how to install Python in today's episode. In the next episode, we will discuss about Python syntax, where I will tell you how you can write these kind of Python programs. Okay, I am also working on Python IDE, where you can directly run the Python codes in this IDE of Codzify. You don't have to switch to Visual Studio Code again and again. Till second or third episode, I will make sure to bring this live in production. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode, we will discuss how Python executes the code. So to understand this well, we will consider two humans, person A and person B. Now person A speaks English and person B also speaks English. When person A communicates some message to person B, then person B will be able to understand that because both the people here understand English language. Similarly, consider the second example where person A speaks English and person B speaks Hindi. In that example, person A cannot communicate with person B. Here both the humans do not understand each other's language. So we need some translator in between which will help them to communicate well. Person A sends some message in English to translator, and the translator will read that message and translate in Hindi and communicate with person B. In this case, translator will play an important role, right? Similarly, in case of computers cannot understand English. Computer understand only the language of 0 and 1s. So whatever program we will write in Python programming or in any other programming language, that need to be translated into the computer's language, which is the language of zeros and ones. Okay, so here in this case we need some translator, right? For example, when we write some Python program in computer and click the run button, then that code will be given to the translator, and that translator will convert that code in the computer understanding language and sends them to the computer to understand that. Then computer gives the output to translator again translate that code in English and sends back to our output screen. So that's how the complete journey of running the program works in Python. Now there are types of translators: interpreter and compiler. So the most programming languages like C programming, Java programming, C# programming, they need compilers, whereas Python needs interpreter. I will explain you the difference between interpreter and compiler in practical form. We will go to the screen and I will show you the demo what is the difference between interpreter and compiler exactly. Now you can visit codzify.com/python IDE, or you can simply go to codzify.com. okay, here, and here at the top you will get the Python compiler. I developed this for you guys to practice Python programs directly in browser. You don't need to go back to Visual Studio Code again and again to practice. Okay, to understand the difference between interpreter and compiler, what we will do is I will write one program here. Okay, suppose I write print hello world. Okay, I will run this code. So you can see the output here, hello world. Okay, now if I write print 10 divided by 0, and I will write print let's check. Okay, now you can observe the output here. The first line is printed, which is hello world, and in the second line we are getting the error 0 division error division by 0. So this is a runtime expression which is getting printed here. If I write 10 plus 10 here, you will see hello world 10 plus 10 20, print let's check. Okay, this is calculated in runtime, right? So whenever Python executes this line print hello world, that will be executed because this is correct. Then print 10 plus 10, it will calculate the expression value which will be 20, and that will be printed, and then the third line let's check. But when Python gets this kind of expression which is error in terms of computer language, okay, 10 divided by 0, so that will give us this kind of output division by 0, and this third line will not get executed because this second line is an error. Okay, if we run the same kind of program in other programming languages, okay, for example I am in the Codzify C compiler, and if I run this same example, so you don't need to worry about what is written here. I am just explaining what is the difference between interpreter and compiler. So printf is used to print the statements in C programming. Okay, now here if I write let's check and run this program, so you can see here runtime error stgitl. Okay, so even if this line is correct hello and this line is also correct, but because this line is incorrect here, this is an error, so the complete program is not executed here. So that's how the compiler and interpreter works. In case of compiler, if an error occurs in any line of the program, then the complete program will not get compiled. And in case of interpreter, even if there is an error in second line, interpret executes the statement line by line. Okay, first line will be interpreted, and if this is correct, that will be printed here. If second line is incorrect, then that will not be executed, and once error is identified, it will not execute any further code. Okay, so this is called as runtime error checking. So this is the basic difference between interpreter and compiler. Okay, compiler reads the entire code first, and if any error exists, then it will throw an error immediately. Okay, so this is called as runtime error. But what if I write here, I will give hello here and world here and place an syntax error. I will not place a bracket here, and let's see now what is the output. So here you can see even this line is correct, okay, hello, but because there is a syntax error, the output is not printed here. This is the important thing you might notice. Python interpreter does not accept syntax errors. Okay, make sure the entire Python program follows the Python syntax. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today. See you in the next episode. In this episode, we are going to discuss about variables in Python. So basically, you can assume variables like this. Consider this as a box. Okay, now whenever we name this box with label, for example, I will name it as A. So I will call this box with variable A. Okay, variables are used to represent some object. For example, we have this, I will name it as B. Now variable names can be anything. For example, if there is a person, if we have to give the name to this person, we will create a name variable. Okay, I hope you got the basic overview what variable exactly is. So it is used to represent something. Okay, now for example, if I name the variable like this, first name, so we have this. Okay, I will name the variable as last name. Okay, so variable names can be anything. Now this is called as string. Okay, inside the quotes, whatever characters we add, this is called as string. Now variable can be of any type. It can be of age also, Okay, it can be a roll number of student like this. It can be a boolean variable. Boolean variables are represented using true and false. Okay, either it can be true or it can be false as well. And the most important part here is you do not have to assign the data type. Now what data type is, for example, here we have the first variable, first name as Manish. Now this is a string data type. So in other programming languages like in C, C++, Java, we have to add the data type manually. But in Python we have the advantage, it automatically takes the type of that variable name. For example, if we have to check the type of this, if I write print is used to print the statements in Python. So if you have seen the previous 2 episodes, we have used print many times. So print is used to print the output on the screen. So here if I type it as type of this variable name, first name, okay, so it will print the type. Okay, now in the output you can see, so here you can see class as string. So this variable first name is of type string. Now if I copy this and again I create multiple print statements and I will use the last name here, I will copy this and paste it here, age, roll number, and this. Now if I run the code, okay, so here if you see this is married true, it is taking as string. Okay, so here you have to write it in this way. So this is a boolean type variable. This is rest, roll number and age are integer types, and the first 2 variable names are string. Okay, now there is one more type which is float. So for example, if you have to represent the diameter of any circle or distance, you can represent using this as well, like this. You have to print diameter as well, so I will name it as diameter. Okay, so this is of type float. That's the important thing to notice. We don't have to write the data types. Okay, these are called as data types, which represent what type of data is stored inside the variable. Now consider this, for example, this is age variable. When we assign a value, this is called as value assignment to a variable. We have assigned some value to the variable age. Okay, now inside memory what happens is, inside memory means we have the OS and that will manage the memory, right? So we have this variable age, and inside that age we have 31. Similarly we have roll number. So these kind of blocks are created inside the memory whenever we create the variable, and with the help of these variable names we can access those values stored inside these boxes or blocks can be accessed. Okay, similarly for string as well, that will be stored here, and this is how you represent the variables inside memory. So we don't have to worry about how these things work, but you must know what happens behind the scene. Okay, now there you can assign the variables like this as well, multiple assignments, xyz is equals to 60. Okay, whenever you print the value of x, for example, it will print 60. If you print the value of y, that will also be 60. So you can represent variables, you can assign the values like this as well, and you can assign the variables like this as well, like this. Okay, what we are printing y. If I want to print the value of x and z, that will also be yz. Okay, so 40, 46, 56. So this is also one more way to assign multiple values to multiple variables. Okay, now there are some rules to write the variable names. Like for example, if I add the 2 here, the number before the variable name, then that is not allowed. That is syntax error. You cannot add number here, you cannot add the symbol like this. Okay, you cannot add the symbols like this. If I add underscore, then this is allowed. Okay, and here also we have to assign the underscore. So this is allowed, first name. If you add the underscore in between like this, first name, then this is also allowed. This error is coming because the type we are printing here is underscore, so we have to change it here as well. Okay, so this is also allowed. Now if I add the dash here and if here as well, then this is not allowed. Okay, the Python will consider it as an operator. Okay, so this is not allowed. And if I add underscore in between, then this is also not allowed because this is also one operator. We will see the operators in detail in our next episode. You can consider operator like this. For example, this is a sample 2 plus 2, then this plus is considered as a addition operator. Similarly, we have subtraction operator, multiplication operator, division operator. So we will see these things in our next episode, but currently we should focus on the variable names. Okay, there are some rules which you must know. You can this underscore is allowed, and if I add the number after this, then this is also allowed, like this. Okay, so this is allowed. You can add the numbers after, but the first character cannot be a number or a dash except underscore. Okay, like this. And instead of type, if I print a value over here, you can see it is representing the value of this variable. Okay, like this. Okay, you can remove the type, and if you want to practice it, as I have mentioned before also, you can go to codzify.com/python IDE. If you want to practice this inside Visual Studio Code, then you can open the Visual Studio Code or create the file here, new file. Okay, in Visual Studio Code, if I copy this and save from here, you can use the shortcut as well. Here I will name it as third episode, third.py. Okay, now you have to open the terminal, go to the path where we have added this, and you can run it like this, python 3 and the name of the file. This is the name of the file, python.third.py, and it will give us the same output which was given in our compiler. Okay, you can practice Python anyway. That was all about the Python variables. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode, we are going to discuss about taking input from user. In our previous episode, we have seen how you can create a variable, okay, and how you can print it like this. If we don't want to assign the value to a variable, we can take this value from user as well. For example, like this. So if I write input and I will give a string here, enter a number. Whatever value which user will enter, that will be assigned to this variable, and in the next line we will print that value. Okay, but in this IDE at codzify.com, you cannot take the input, so you will get this kind of error. Okay, so this is natural because we don't have the terminal here. This is just, you can run the plain Python codes. Okay, and if you assign the value here, that will run, but if you want to take the input, then that will not run here. So we will go to Visual Studio Code. Okay, here, now if I run this code here, okay, as you can see, we have been asked enter a number which we have given in the input string. Now if I enter 5, that will print the 5 here. Okay, so that's how you can take the input in Python. And now suppose there is one more variable, and if I type 10 minus a, okay, because we have, and I will save this and we will print the value of b. Now because we are taking the input from the user, okay, inside this variable a, so b will be assigned with value 10 minus whatever value we take from user. Okay, so let's see. If I enter 5 here, so here the user has entered 5, that will be assigned to this variable a. Now the output should be here 10 minus 5, right? But as you can see, we have this unsupported operand type for integer and string. So how you can manage that? Because if I print the type, okay, now if I print, we have also seen how you can get the type. Now if I want the type of a here, okay, and I will remove this, comment this line. So here you can see the class is string for this number. Whatever user is entering here, that is of type string. And we have this 10 here in the third line. This is integer. We need to convert the string variable here, which is a. Okay, now if I run this, you can see the value is 5. If I run it again and give it some other number, then you can see the value printed is 2. This is called as type conversion. This is how you can convert the type of any variable. Okay guys, I hope you got the understanding how you can take the input from user. Input value will be very useful when we will build some AI agents in future. So there you need to get the input from users. At that time you will be able to use this input to get the input from user and also to convert it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today as well. In the next episode we will focus on strings part. Okay, strings in Python. So that's what will be the topic of our next episode. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode we are going to discuss about strings in Python. So as I have mentioned before also, like you can consider the strings like this. For example, we write Python programming. Okay, now this is called a string. Basically string is a series of characters, which means combining individual characters like p, y, t, h. Okay, so these are individual characters which are combined to form one string Python, and each string starts with index 0. For example, p is available at index 0, okay, p is available at index 0, y is available at 1. So these numbers are called as index. So whenever you want to access these characters, you can use these indexes. For example, if I write course is equals to Python programming, okay, now if I print course at index 0, okay, so this will print the first character, which is p. Okay, so let's run this. As you can see here, we have the output here. Now if I print 6 or 5, okay, so what will be the output? So here we have p at 0 index, y at 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So n will be the output. Okay, and if I print 6 here, so this is also gets counted. Okay, so if I print 6 here, the space will be printed, which will be not visible, but here we have the 6th character. And if I print 7th character, again we have this. Okay, so in this way you can access the complete string with this format. Okay, if I type -1 here, so this is 0, and if I type -1, it will count the number from last, it will count the characters from last. So here the output will be G. Okay, and if you type 2, it will print this. So by giving the negative index, you can print the string in reverse format as well. This is also possible in Python. Okay, now for example, if I type here Codzify, okay, now I want to print this in single quote, so this will be possible, right? So if I print here and I will remove this will print Codzify's Python programming course. Okay, so this is possible. Now if I give the single quote here, so the Python interpreter here gets confused what to print, right? So here we have this single quote, here also we have single quote. So according to Python interpreter, this will be the syntax error. So we need some way to print this kind of string, right? So for that you can print it in double quotes, but if you want to print double quotes here, then you have to change the initial quotes with single quote. Okay, like this. So you can manage that based on your format. Okay, another thing which you must know is the methods used in Python. Now to print the length of the string, you can use the length function like this. So to print the length of this string course, you can use it this way. So we have the length as 35. So if I count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35. So we have to count this from 1. Okay, from 1 till here it is showing 35. Now this is one function. Now if I want to print this string in uppercase, that means I want this Python in uppercase format. Here you can see the output, Codzify's Python programming course. Okay, if you want everything in lowercase, you can print it this way as well. Okay, so this will print the string in slicing format. This is called as slicing, which means from first index to the last index this will print. Okay, like this. Now if I add some number here, for example 4, okay, for example like this 8. So what this will print is, it will count from 0 till the 8 minus 1 character, which means 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, the 8th character will not be printed here. So as you can see here, the output excluding the 8th character, everything is printed. Okay, now if I type here 2 4 to 8, so it will start from 0 1 2 3 4 from I to till 8th index. Okay, so you don't have to count the 8 from this I only. Okay, let me show you. From here till here, so you have to count the numbers from here: 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7th and 8th. So even this character is getting counted. Okay, now we have to print the numbers from 4th index till 8th index. So excluding 8, that means till 7 we have to count. So this will be the output for this course 4:8. Okay, and if I write -1 here, so this will print the characters from 4th, which means from I till -1. -1 means, as I have told before, you can also get the letters from last index also, right? So this is -1 character. So from here till here, excluding this one, excluding the -1, it will print till here. Okay, now if you want to format the string, you can also use this way. For example, coding for beginners. Okay, so if I want to print it in some format like this, okay, if I want to print this message in this format, you can print it this way, right? Now if I change something here, for example, Codzify simplifies Python for beginners. Okay, so instead of coding here, I want Python, the value of this variable. So how you can do that? You can add the concatenation operator, which is this plus. Okay, and you can add this course over here, course here, and end this beginners. Okay, so here we have Codzify simplifies Python for beginners. So we didn't added this space over here. Okay, now you can run this. So Codzify simplifies this concatenation operator with this variable course for beginners. If I write here Flutter for beginners, then it will print Flutter. Okay, so based on the variable, it will change. So this is also one way you can print the formatted string. If you don't want that, you can also use this syntax like this, and directly you can write simplifies the name of variable in curly brackets and directly beginners without writing concatenation and all that stuff. You can use the F quotes and directly write the variable name inside that. So if I print this message, you can see Codzify simplifies coding for beginners. So there are two ways you can print it, this way and that way also. Okay, now there are some more methods which you must know. For example, if I want to replace some character, okay, I want to replace this P. Okay, so I will write course of 0. Either you can write it this way, course of 0 with some character space. Okay, and yes, so you can see here we have printed the space over here and this. Now if I want to replace it with T, so it will print it like this. Okay, so another way you can add it like this also. If you want to replace the P with T, you can use this way. Okay, this is called as replace method. Okay, print is a function and replace is a method. Okay, or if you want to replace this program with some string, you can use that as well. Okay, so as you can see here, this particular string is also replaced. This is one more way you can replace the string characters as well. Okay, there is one more method which is count. For example, if I want to count the number of O in this particular string, so it will count it. O is appearing for 2 times. Okay, if I write P here, P is not present, it is returning 0. Why? Because we have the capital P here and we have given the P, small p here. So you must know Python is a case sensitive language, so we must provide the capital P here. Okay, if I write M, it is also giving us 2. There are more methods. For example, we have this split method as well. In our coming episode, we will learn about list and for loop and all that stuff. At that moment, we will study about split and join function. Okay, so right now we will keep it simple to make the thing simplified for you. We have this starts with okay, so here we are getting the true. Now if I write some other thing here, false, right? Similarly, we have the ends with okay. Now if I write programming over here, it will give us true. Okay, so these are also the methods starts with and ends with, where you can use this when you want to give the email validation. These methods will be useful, right? You have to check whether the string ends with gmail.com or something like that, then you can use this starts with and ends with. Now there are more things, that means if I want to check whether the given string is digit or not, so when we apply a validation for phone number or mobile number, there you can apply these kind of methods. So it is representing false here. If I write okay, so you can use this to validate the phone numbers as well. Similarly, we have the alphanumeric characters, Python. Okay, so there is one more method which is called a strip. This will be used to remove the white spaces, okay, from the string. It will remove the space from left, and if I give it r strip, then it will remove the space from right. Okay, we have one more method, which is, if I type like this, Python in course, it will check whether this string is available in the course variable or not. Okay, now if I give it small p over here, so it is giving us false. So I hope you got the understanding how to use strings in Python. I hope you learned a new thing in today's episode as well. In the coming episode, we will learn about the operators in Python. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode, we are going to discuss about arithmetic operations, operator precedence in Python. Okay, so the operators, as you know, are the basic mathematical functions like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, which will return the remainder in a division operation. We have the exponential, which will return the power, right? 2 raised to power 2, 2 raised to power 3, so that will be done using this exponential operator. That's very simple. You can use it like this way. Okay, subtraction operation, multiplication, division, and for modulus operator, this will return the remainder, which will be 0. Okay, if I write 3 or 4 here, okay, and if I write exponential operation, it will return the power 10 raised to power 4 like this. If I write 2 raised to power 4, that will be 16. So these are basic operators which you should know in Python. Now that you have learned about operators in Python, you must know operator precedence as well. For example, if there is one expression like this, okay, so what do you think will be the output here? What do you think the output here will be? If you have the basic understanding of maths, then you must know what will be the answer, right? So firstly, the first preference will be to this 4 plus 2, 6. The first preference will be to this 4 plus 2, 6, and then 2 raised to power 3 will be 8, and then 6 8s are 48. Okay, so that should be the basic output for this. Now if I print this, okay, you must know the order in which order this can be executed. Okay, so for that we have this simple order. First parenthesis will be given the preference, then exponential operator, okay, that means the power operator, then we have multiplication or division, okay, and then we have addition or subtraction. Okay, so in this order things will work. Now for example, if I write minus here, then the whole scenario will change. Now what will be the output here? The first 2 plus 4 6, then Instead of minus, first multiplication will be done, multiply by 2 and then minus 3. Now 6 2s are 12 minus 3. So the output should be here 9. Okay, so I hope you got the understanding of operator precedence in Python as well. Now there are basic math functions which you should know in Python as well. So the basic function which is round function. If I write 5.8 5.9 here, so this math function will round the number 5.9 to 6. Okay, now if I write absolute value of minus 5.9, absolute value will always return the positive number, right? So as you can see here, we have the absolute value. If I write 3.9, then it will return 3.9. And if you want to round this number, you can use this way, right? And if you want the math function, you can import the math library and use the math dot function. Okay, so this will return, if I write 5.9 again, this will return the seal number, right? If I use the floor method, this will return the 5. This is all about how you can use the math functions in Python. So here you can search Python 3 math functions module on Google, and here we have the complete functions, right? Factorial of n, GCD of number is square root. So you can explore these functions one by one, play with these functions to understand the math library in Python. Okay, this is a vast library, you can use this. See, I have used the factorial function here. Here we have the factorial of this, like this. So here the parameter which we have to pass is n. Okay, if you find the factorial of 5, you have to write 5. If you want the factorial of 10, you can write 10. So based on that, I have written factorial of 5, it has given me 120. If I write factorial of 4, then it is 24. So you can use these libraries and use it in your own way. Is square root n. So if I write is square root so sqrt, right? Okay, like this you might notice that some of the functions which are available here will not work in Codzify IDE. For that you can go to Visual Studio Code here, and if I write the same code, import math.is_sqrt16, if I run this program, you can see the square root of 16 is 4. Okay, if I write 4 here, the answer should be 2. Okay, so make sure you have that kind of understanding when you are working in Python. Okay, similarly you can use all these functions, and based on the project on which you are working, you have to find your suitable math function. Okay guys, so I hope you got the understanding of arithmetic operations, operator precedence and math functions in Python very well in today's episode. In the next episode, we will explore the conditional statements in Python, where you will be able to learn about if, else if, those kind of conditions. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode, we are going to discuss about if and else if statements. So when we use this kind of if and else if statements, for example, if you have to compare, like suppose in our web field we have the name, okay, name text field, and we have the mobile number, okay, mobile number. Now when we hit the submit button here, okay, we need to apply the validation. Name must contain at least 3 characters. Okay, so in that case we will use the if statement, whether the entered name of user contains at least 3 characters or not. Similarly for mobile number, we need maximum 10 characters. Okay, after that it should not allow the mobile number, so that also can be achieved using the if and else if statements. I think this is the best example to understand if and else if statements. So let's write the Python program to understand that. I will create a name variable here. First name is equals to, okay. Here we will write the if statement. If length of first name is greater than equals to 3, okay, in that case print name is valid. Okay, so let's see. Here it is printing name is valid. Now if I type only the character M here we have program executed with no output because this condition gets false. Here the length of first name is 1 only, and 1 is not greater than equal to 3, right? This is also called as greater than equal to operator. So these kind of operators are called as comparison operators, right? If I use this kind of symbol, then this is less than equal to, okay. So if I run this, then name is valid because the length of first name is 1 and 1 is less than equal to 3, right? That's why it is printing this. And if we get it with greater than, then we have to print else print name is not valid, okay. Name is not valid, and if I add this, then name is valid, okay. This is how you can compare the characters and apply if else statement. Now what if we need one more check here. So here the mobile number is of 10 characters, okay. Here we will apply one condition, else if, okay. So make sure you note this. Instead of else if, we write elif in Python, okay. Elif length of mobile number should be less than equal to 10, okay. If that is condition, we will print please enter a valid mobile number. Now here the first name, the length of first name is greater than 3, okay. So this condition will be true, then only this print statement will be printed, and all the other else if and else condition will be skipped here, okay. So let's check. As you can see, the output name is valid. Now if we have this condition is false, now it is checking for mobile number. Length of mobile number, which is 10 here, is less than equal to 10. That's why is less than equal to 10, then it is a valid number, okay. So here the statement is wrong. Mobile number is valid. We will print it like this, okay. Now the condition here are not accurate, but to understand the concept of if else, you can consider this example, okay. Now what if we want to check two conditions at the same time? That means name must contain at least 3 characters and the mobile number should be of length 10, okay. So if we want to apply two conditions, then we have the length of first name is greater than 10 and length of mobile number should be less than equal to 10, okay. Then name and mobile number are valid, okay. Here instead of capital we have to write this way, and operator. So here the length of first name is greater than 3, okay. This is true, and let me write this here. Here the length of first name is greater than 3 and the length of mobile number is less than equal to 10, okay. So both the conditions are true here, and T and T, if you have studied the maths here, T and T will always return true. That's why this is printing name and mobile number are valid, okay. Now you can use either condition, like either this or this should be true, number is valid, okay. Either this condition or this condition is true, then also this will work, okay. name or mobile number is valid. And if any of these conditions fail, and I will apply AND here, length of first name is greater than 3 and length of mobile number should be exactly equal to 10, not less than equal to 10, then only this condition will be valid. Mobile number length in India should be 10, right? In your country it might be different, so you can add that number here, but generally it is 10. So instead of less than, we will use the double equal to operator. This operator is different from this, okay? Double equal to means exactly same. For example, 10 equal to 10, this will return true. Similarly, there is one more thing which is not equal to. So here 10 is not equal to 10, so this is not valid, okay? I hope you got the understanding of new operators as well. This double equal to, which means it compares the mobile number length, which is, this is 1 2 3 4 5, and we have double equal to 5 is double equal to 10. So this condition is purely not correct, okay? This condition is not correct. Then this will skip that, it will return the false here, and else condition will be printed here, okay? Name is not valid. And similarly, if I write it this way, mobile number length is 10 and this is 10, and first name length is greater than equal to 3, okay? First print statement is here in the output, which is name or mobile number is valid. I hope you got the clarity in if statement, else if statement, and else, okay? Else if statements are being written when we have multiple conditions. For example, you can consider the example of day as well, like Sunday, okay, Monday, Tuesday. In that case you can use this. For example, if day, we have to compare if day is equals to Sunday, then print day is Sunday, okay? Similarly, if we have to print if day is equals to Monday, then print day is Monday, like this, okay? Similarly, you can write this multiple times. If day is Tuesday, you can write it this way, okay? Wednesday. Until Sunday you can write this. I will write the else, and at the end, else please enter a correct day. So let's see, day is Sunday. If I write Monday here, so what this will do is, first it will compare the day with Sunday. This is not true, then it will go to Monday. This condition is true, then it will print this day is Monday and skip everything, okay? And if I add a wrong day here, for example this, which is not present in Sunday condition, in this condition neither of conditions are satisfying this, then it will show us else please enter a correct day, okay? So that's how this works. Okay guys, I hope you have learned something new today as well. In the next episode we are going to discuss the topic of loops in Python. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode we are going to discuss about loops in Python. Let me explain you what exactly is the loop. For example, we have some range here, 1 2 3 4 5, okay? Now you have to print these numbers in Python. So there are two ways you can do this. Either you can print it this way 5 times, right? You can print it this way, and if this list goes on up to 100, okay, till 100 you have to print this number, then this is not possible as a human, right? So in that case you can use the concept of loop to print this number, and if this number goes till 1000 or lakh, 10,000 or lakh, even then also you have to write only few lines of code. So the concept of loop comes for repetition, right? It is also called as iteration. Let's write one program here so that you get clarity about loops in Python. Okay, here we have to write some condition, okay, and based on that we will print. Okay, so the condition here will be, I want to print the numbers till 50, and if that loop completes we have to print it's done. Okay, okay, now if you notice, when I have added this line here, I is equal to I plus 1, then the output is printed up to 50. Okay, if I scroll, and at the end when it is done, it's printing it's done. But if you notice, if I remove this line and run the program, this loop will be executed for infinite times. Now how this is happening, let me explain you. Firstly we have I is equals to 1. Okay, now here the value of I will be 1, and the condition it will check I is less than equal to 50, which means 1 is less than 50, then it will print the value of I here, and I is equal to I plus 1. What is the value of I? Value of I is 1 now. Now it will be incremented by 1 and it become 2. Okay, now first this line is executed. Okay, then second this line is executed, then this line, then this line. Now instead of this loop, again the control will flow to the second line till the condition is not satisfied. Okay, so here the value of, firstly the value of I was 1. Now the control will come to this line and value of I will become 2. This will print the value 2. Okay, in the output I will print the output value here as well. Okay, print the value of I, and it will increment the value of I by 1. So 2 plus 1 will become 3. Now the control will again go to this line, 3 is less than 50, yes, then print the value of 3, and I is equal to 3 plus 1. Now it will increment this, again the control will go to this second line, I 4 is less than 50, yes, then print the value of I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, now value of 5 is less than 50, print the value of I. Okay, and I is equal to I plus 1 till we get the number 50 over here. Okay, at the end till we get the value 50, it will go here, it will check 50 is less than equal to 50, yes, then print the value of 50 here at the end. Now I is equal to 50 plus 1, it will become 51. Now the control will come to this line, 51 is less than equal to 50. Now the condition is false here, so the loop will break. Okay, now this will not get executed because condition is now false. Now it will print the outside loop statement. Okay, it's done. So in this way this loop concept works in Python or in any programming language. Okay, I hope you got the understanding of while loop here. Now let's see the for loop concept here. For loop is almost same. Okay, okay, for example we have to print each character in this string. We can use the for loop here like this. So you can see here the characters in this string are getting printed PRO. Okay, like this, and once the loop is done we have to print it's done. Okay, So the first time how this loop will be executed, item will pick this P and it will print this. Again the control will go to this string and it will check for this, it will print R, then it will check this O, it will print that, and the loop gets continued till we print all the characters in this string. Once this is done, the loop will break and it will come to this line. In this case, when we are using the string, and make sure you have the right indentation. If you write the print inside this for loop, then it will print it like this. P, it's done. Each character it will print this. So make sure you have to write outside this loop. Okay. Now suppose we have the list over here, numbers list. Okay, list concept we haven't seen yet. Same type of number in the sequence. For example, 1 2 3 4, all these are integer numbers, or it can be a list of characters like this. Okay, like this. We will see the concept of list, dictionary and tuples in our next episode, but for now you can consider this as a same type of data inside a list. Okay, now I will print item in numbers and let's print item, and once that is done we will print it's done. Okay, till 6 it has printed the list, and finally the loop gets break and it printed it's done. So for the first time 1 will be selected here and it will print, control will come to this line. Okay, for loop it will check for the second number and then it will print 2, then 3 4 5 6 like this. If you want to print the list till 100 or some bigger number, then you cannot write it as a human, right? So as I have told you, so in that case you can use the range function which is available in Python, and if I give the number 40, then it will print the numbers till 39. Okay, so except 40 it will print the number below this 39. If I write 41 here, then it will print till 40 like this, and after once the loop is break, then it will print it's done. Similarly, if I want to start the list from 10 instead of 0, so as you can see here the list is started from 0. If I want to start the list from 10, I can give the start index here as well, from 10 to 40. So it will start from 10 till 40. Okay, and if I now, as you can see here, the list is getting incremented by 1 in the output section, 10 11 12 13. So if you want to increment the number by 3 here, then it will print it like this, 10 13 16 19 plus 3. If you want to increment the number by 2, you can increment it by 2 as well. By default it's 1 here. Okay, even if you don't write it, it's okay like this. Okay, so that is all about for loop here. Sometimes you have to use the nested loops, means inside one for loop you have to write another for loop as well. So in that case, so to understand that, we will, so this is the kind of nested loop. Here I will write x and here I will write y, range 3. Okay, so inside for loop I have written one more for loop, and here I will write okay, remove this. So as you can see here, we have the output 0 0 0 1 0 2 1 0 1 1 1 2 till 3 2, right? So how this loop is executed now, let me show you. First time the control comes to this loop. Okay, now for the first time the value of x will be 0 over here. Okay, now the control comes to this line for loop y. The value of y over here will be, first time it will be 0. Now the control comes to this line and it will print the value of x and y. I will write the output here. the value of x will be 0 comma y 0. Okay, now the control will come to this line only because the condition is not fulfilled yet. It has to print the value till 3. Okay, now the value of y will become 1 here, and it will print the xy value, which will be value of x is still 0 and value of y is now 1. Okay, now again the value of y will be incremented till 2 and value of x and y will be printed. Okay, as I have told you, range function will print the numbers till 2 here. If I give 3, it will print the number till 2. Once this while loop is executed, the control will again flow to this x for loop, this one. Now the value of x will become 1, and till it becomes 3, the value of x will become 3. Till then this loop will executed, this for loop, this while loop will get executed. Okay, and now the value of y will again become 0 and 3 times it will run. Okay, now the value of x is printed and the value of y is 0, and now this loop will executed, this while loop, for 3 times. Okay, so I hope you got the clarity how this loop is getting executed. So basically this x loop, that means till range 4, which means for 3 times 0 1 2 3, this for loop is going to execute it. Okay, so I hope you got the concept of loops in Python very clearly. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. In the coming episode, we will focus on the topics like list, tuple and dictionary. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode, we are going to discuss about list in Python. Now to understand the concept of list, we will take one example, a list of random numbers. Okay, for example, we have the list of random numbers in any order. Okay, now to print this, you can use it this way. Okay, as you can see, you can print the list in this format. Now for example, you have to find the smallest number in this list. Okay, how do you write the program for this in Python? So first of all, the output here should be 0, right? In the complete list, 0 is the smallest number present. Okay, so how do you find that? We will take one number 7, okay, as the initial number. Now we will compare it with 8. Okay, we will compare it with 8, whether 7 is less than 8. We will take one variable here, a. Okay, now here we will compare whether the 7 is smaller than 8, less than 8. If yes, then we will pass 7 is the smallest. Now we will compare the 7 with 0. Okay, we will compare the 7 with 0. Now here 7 is not less than 0, so we will reassign the value of a to 0. Now 0 is the smallest number till now. Okay, till this iteration. Now we will compare it with 1. Now we will compare the 0 with 1. Okay, now 0 is less than 1, then we will pass to 2. 0 is less than 2, yes. 0 is less than 6, yes. Then the final output here will be a is equal to 0. Okay, so basically we are comparing it with the value of a here. Okay, so this 0 is representing the value of a, and previously this 7 was representing the value of this a. So let me write the program so that you can clearly understand how to do this. I will take a here and we will assign the number at first index. Now what this will return is numbers of 0 will return 7. This is present at the 0 index, 8 is present at 1, 2, 3. So I hope you got the understanding of index now and how to print that. Okay, now we have to assign the loop here, number in numbers. Okay, here we will compare if this number a, which is 7, okay, if a is less than number, if a is less than number, then don't do anything. 7 is not less than 0, so it will come to the else block. Here we will assign the new value to a. Okay, and at the end we have to print the value of a. Let me first check whether the output is coming or not. You can see indentation error. Why? Because we haven't given here anything. I will write continue. This will become 0. Okay, so here the output which is coming is correct. That means the smallest number. If you want to find the greater number, then I will give the greater number here, and this will return 8. So that's simple. This program is this. What this continue here is doing, if this condition is true, okay, if this condition is true, it will continue the loop. Okay, it will continue the loop here. If this condition is false, then only it will go to else. Now what we are doing basically is we are starting with this number 7, and step by step we are comparing it with other items, like 7 is smaller than 8, 7 is smaller than 0, like this. Now 7 is smaller than 8, the condition is yes. 7 is smaller than 8, then it will continue the loop. Okay, then control will come to this line in the for loop. Now it will compare 7 is less than 0. No, 7 is not less than 0. Okay, 7 is greater than 0. This if condition here is false. Here we are writing 7 is less than, number will become 0. Now 7 is not less than 0, right? So control, where will control go? It will come to else block, and here the value of a will be the new number which is minimum 1, 0. Okay, now we will compare the value with 0. Okay, now the control will go to the next index which is 1. Here the value of a is now 0. Okay, and we are comparing it with 1 value. Okay, the new number here. Now 0 is less than 1. Yes, then continue the loop. Control will go here, and we are comparing it with another number which is 2, next number which is 2. Now the value of a is still 0. 0 is less than 2, so here we will change that number 2. Okay, and this condition is also true, so it will continue the loop. Control will go here, and again the index value will be incremented, which is 6 now. Okay, now we are again, the value of a is 0, and we are now comparing with the value 6 here, which is this. So 0 is less than 6, it will continue, and at the end the loop will break, and smallest number will be assigned in this a, and it will be printed at the end. Okay, so I hope you got the understanding of how you can find the smallest and greater number in the list. Okay, few things you must know to access the list. For example, here we have written 0. So if I write 2 here, what will be the value of a here? Okay, I will write 3. So the value of a will become 1. Okay, 0, 1, 2 and 3. So the value here will be 1. If I write like this, so here you can see from the index 3 onwards all the value will be printed. Okay, I will write the index value here, 4 and 5. Okay, now here if I write 3 colon, then it will start from 1 to 6. If I write 2 to 4 here, then what will be the output? It will be 0 and 1. Excluding this will not be included, only from start from 0 and end at 4 minus 1, 3, which is this one. Okay, if I write 1 colon 4, then it will start from 1 and end at 3. Okay, so the here the output value will be 801. Okay, like this. And what if I write minus 1 here, then it will return the last value. Okay, 6, like this. Okay, so that was all about lists in Python. Now we will discuss about 2D list in Python. Okay, 2D list in Python. So what does that mean is, you can consider 2D list like this. So here we have some list, and inside that list we have another list like this, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I will name it as matrix. Okay, now suppose you have to print 2 in this matrix, okay, this item. How will you access this element? So here we have the 0th row and first column, right? 0th row and first column, like this. If you want to access this one, then how do you access that? It will be in the 0th row, 0 column. Okay, 0 1 2 0 1 2, like this. If you want to access this, then you can write it like this: first row, first column. Okay, how do you write a program to access these 0 comma 0 in Python? So for that you can do it like this. First we will find the matrix row. Okay, for that I will write row in matrix, and I will find column in that row. Okay, so here I will print will write here row and column. Okay, let's print this. It's showing invalid syntax, so make sure you have the correct indentation here. Okay, make sure to give the correct indentation. Indentation means spaces in the beginning. Okay, why this output is like this? So for the first time, for row in matrix, it will take this row. Okay, 1 2 3. Here we have 0 row, 1 row and 2 row. Okay, for the first time it will take this row. Okay, 0 row, the complete row, 1 2 3. That's why it is printing here the complete row, and the column in row will be this one, 1. Okay, the first loop will continue till we print all the rows and elements. Okay, so for the first time the row will be 1 2 3 and the column number 0, then 1 2 3 second column. Okay, this one, and 1 2 3 third column. Then the row loop will come to 1 and it will print this 4 5 and 6, like this. 4 5 6 first column, which is 4, 4 5 6 first column, which is 5. So in this way the complete loop will run here. Okay, so that's how you can access the 2D list in Python very easily. I hope you got the understanding of lists in Python and 2D list in Python. In the next episode we will discuss the topic of list methods in Python. Till then you can practice the examples which we have discussed today. In the next episode we will discuss further. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode we are going to discuss about list methods in Python. So in previous episode we have seen how to create lists and also the 2D list, right? Let's consider this example. I will take a list of random numbers here. Okay, now if I print numbers, it will print the list. Okay, if you want to insert any number at the end, you can use this way. Okay, so as you can see we have added the 50 at the end. If you want 40, you can add that. Now suppose if you want to remove the last element from the list, you can use the pop method. Okay, this will remove the last element from the list. Okay, this is a pop method in Python. If you want to insert any number, suppose if we want to insert the number here between 8 and 7, so what we can do is I want to insert at 1 index, and what number you have to add? Suppose 45. So you can see 8 45 and 7. In this way you can provide the index where you want to insert, then you can insert that number. For example, if I give index 2, then 45 will come at index 2. Similarly we have the remove method. For example, if I say remove 10, it will remove the 10 from the list. For example, if I give 8, then we have two 8s. let's see which 8 is it is removing. The first occurrence is getting removed. Okay, this 8 is still there. If you want to check some number, for example, if I want to check whether 20 is in the list, so you can do this way, true. If I give 50 is in the list, it will give us false. So this way you can check out whether the number is available in the list or not. Okay, I hope you got the understanding of list methods in Python. In the coming episodes we will focus on the new concepts like tuple and dictionary. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode we are going to discuss about tuples. In previous episode we have seen how you can create lists, right? So simple way to create list was this, right? For example, if you want to append one item here, we have used numbers.append method, right? In the list, for example, if I want to append here 10, then we can use the append method here, right? But in case of tuples, you cannot change the items. For example, instead of square bracket, we have to write the parenthesis. Okay, and here you can print it numbers. So this is how you can define the tuples in Python. Now if you want to change, for example, if I want to change the first item in the list with 10, which means instead of 2 I want to reassign it with 10, then let's see whether it is possible in Python or not. So as you can see, tuple object does not support item assignment, which I have already told you. Once the items are defined in tuple, you cannot modify it. That's why it is called as immutable. Immutable means you cannot modify the existing items, right? And whereas the list is a mutable. List is mutable, which means you can modify the existing items in that. So that's the main difference between tuple and lists. Okay, one more thing which you must know is the concept of unpacking. For example, when we have discussed about variables, I have already shown you how you can use this kind of assignments, right? XYZ is equals to 10, 20, 30. If I print the value of x over here, so the first value is assigned to x variable. If I print the z value, it prints the 30. Okay, for example, if I take coordinates, okay, and here I define one tuple here, okay, and if I create a variable here like this xyz and assign the tuple here like this, now what will be the output if I print x over here? So as you can see, it directly takes the first value 1 and assign to x. Okay, similarly if I take y here, you can see it takes the second value and assign to y. This is how you can unpack the tuples and print it in this way as well. Okay, and another way to print the items is this one, coordinates of 0, coordinates of 1, to print the items. Okay, so I hope you got the concept of tuples in Python as well. In the next episode we will discuss about dictionaries in Python. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode we are going to discuss about dictionaries in Python. So basically you can consider dictionaries as the key value pair. For example, there is one student and the student can have multiple properties, like student should have name, right? For example, you can have the mobile number, okay, age, right? Every student have these parameters, right? So this is called as key and the RAM is called as value. So mobile number here is representing the key of dictionary and this is a value. Similarly, age is a key and this is value. So this is how you define dictionaries in Python. You cannot add the same key in the dictionary, so that's the restriction in dictionaries. Now let's print student, and this is how you can retrieve the name of student in the dictionary. Let's run this. Make sure we have the double quotes available here because this is a key, right? This is a string. That's how you define the dictionary, and this is how you can get the value out of dictionary. For example, if I want to print the mobile number, you can use this way. Okay, now let's write one program here in Python which will cover all the concepts which we have seen till now. For example, loops, variables, and the dictionaries. Okay, suppose we have the input 1 2 3 4. Okay, and at the end we want the output like this. Instead of 1, it should print 1 in this way. For 2, it should print 2. For 3, it should print 3, and at the end we have 4. So this is the input, and we want this kind of output. How will you achieve this in Python? That's what we are going to write in our today's episode itself. Okay, so let's see. First we will assign one input. I will name it as number. Okay, like this. We will do number mapping. We will take one dictionary over here, and for 1 I will assign 1 like this. For 2 I will assign 2, and I will copy this. We have 3 and we have 4. 3 and 4. Okay, like this. Now here we will take the output string. Instead of num, we will take it as input string. Okay, so we will take it as input string, and we will take this variable as output string, and let's keep it empty for now. Now we have this input string, and we have created one dictionary over here which is representing the key value. For this one we are representing in this way. Okay, in words. Okay, now what we will do is we will apply a loop on this input string. Okay, and get each character one by one and append the representative value for that specific key in the output string. For example, I will take this 1 first in the loop of this input string and check whether 1 is present in this dictionary or not. If it is present, I will take this value and assign it here in output string. Similarly, in the second iteration of the loop, I will take this 2 and check whether it is available in the number mapping dictionary and get the specific value of that key and append it here in the output string. Similarly, for 3 and 4 we will do the thing, and if the number is not available in the string, we will place an exclamation or any symbol so that we get to know that number is not present. So that simple it is. Let's do it. Ch in input string, we will get the first character in input string. Okay, now we have got the 1 from this input string in ch for the first iteration of loop. Now we have to get the value of this 1. Okay, we will do it, get ch, and if it is not available we will print the exclamation. Okay, and at the end we have to assign this to output string like this, and finally we will get out of the loop. When the loop is complete, we have to print the output string like this. Let's see. Here we have an error, invalid syntax. Okay, now as you can see, make sure the brackets are in this way, otherwise it's showing invalid syntax. Okay, 1 2 3 4, and we have the output. At the end of this we will print one space also. Okay, so here we have the space so that we get the output very clearly. If you want the characters in the new line, you can use this. I will keep the space only. Okay, I hope you got the understanding of how you can use the dictionary, loops and variables. Also we have implemented the string append here. Okay, what this is doing is output string is equals to output string plus the character value which we are getting from this dictionary. So it is combining each character. For example, for the first time here in ch we have the 1. Okay, now it will number mapping dot get will check whether that 1 is present in the dictionary, and it will get the value of this and append in the output string for the first time. So in the beginning we have only 1. Okay, now for the second time of iteration in this loop we will get 2, and it will check here 2 and append this 2 in this, okay, output string. And also we have added one space at the end, as you can see here. And for the third time it will take 3, do the number mapping stuff and get the value 3 and assign in the outputs. This way this loop is working. Okay guys, I hope you have learned new thing in today's episode. In the next episode we are going to discuss about functions in Python. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. In this episode we are going to discuss about functions in Python. So as we have seen print statement, right, we have seen the print statement. This is inbuilt function in Python. Similarly we have seen input function which takes input from user and return the value, right? So we have seen these kind of functions previously in Python. In this episode we will learn how you can define your own functions. Okay, let's write one function here. For example, I will write a welcome user function. Okay, and to define the function in Python you have to use this reserved keyword which is called as define keyword. Okay, whenever Python interpreter see this keyword it will understand we are writing the user defined function. Okay, welcome user, this is the name of function. You can give any name to the function, but make sure your formatting is correct. Okay, like this. Either you can use camel casing or you can use underscore to represent the name of function. Now here we will write anything. For example, we will write enjoy coding. Now to call this function, make sure to add the 2 line breaks here to format the code in Python. Okay, now here we will call this function welcome user like this, and this will automatically print this enjoy coding. Okay, this is how you can call the function. Now for example, if we pass the argument here, for example if I pass Python here, okay, and now as you can see this function welcome user does not get any value, and we are passing one argument here. This is called as argument which we are passing. We can pass here C programming as well, right? You can pass any string here. Now as you can see here, welcome user takes 0 positional argument. We haven't added the parameter here. Okay, so we will write language right. We have seen how to use the formatted string. Here we are passing enjoy coding and the parameter which user has given us. Now if I write C programming here, it will add enjoy coding C programming. Okay, so this is how you pass the parameter to this function welcome user. Okay, now you can pass multiple parameters also. For example, if I pass Python and Java, okay, and here I will take language 2, and here we will write language 2 enjoy coding Python and Java. Okay, now if I change the order here, okay, for example if I change the order like this, first I will add Java and Python, then it will print this way. Okay, now what if I want to give this as language first, because I want the first parameter to be Python and the second parameter to be Java. So when I run this code, you can see welcome user got multiple values for argument language. Now this Java is considered to be a language argument, and we are also passing Python to the language, so language 2 is never assigned, right? So what we have to do is we have to specifically tell to interpreter that this is language 2 and this is language 1. Okay, now you can see enjoy coding Python and Java. Most probably we use it like this way, but sometimes we need to pass the specific parameters as well. Okay, so I hope you got the understanding how you can pass the parameters and arguments. Now I will explain you how you can define the return statement in functions. For example, we will create a new function here. Let's add the two numbers. Okay, let's define a function addition. Okay, and in this we will take two numbers, number a and number, write it like this, num a and num b. Okay, and here we will do num a plus num b, and we will return it. Okay, now to print this I will call this function addition and we will pass the argument 3 and 4. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have added this. See, you can see this function is being called, the arguments has been assigned to num a and num b, and we got the answer addition of two numbers here. Okay, which is 7. Now if I don't write a return statement and just print it here only, then we will see what this will return. Now this function is getting called addition 3 4, and here we are printing this num a and num b. Okay, the addition of this is getting printed here, which is 7. And if you want to test it, we can write it this way as well. We don't know which statement, this print statement is getting printed or this print statement is getting printed. So let's see. Addition is, so you can see this print statement is getting printed, addition is 7. And what about this print statement? Now basically if we don't return anything in function, it will return none by default. Okay, so at the end if I write here f main call function, okay, you can see main call function is getting the value none. This call is getting as none because we haven't returned anything, we just printed here only. Okay, if we return this value, then you can see main call function which is this, and the value which is getting returned inside this. Now what is the value getting returned? This value. Okay, this value addition is 7. So I hope you got the understanding of how to pass the parameters, how you can return the statement in functions, what exactly function defines. Functions are basically used to define the basic blocks. If you are designing a program for cars, okay, for example, in that case you need brake function, right? You need accelerate function. So you cannot write the code of brake in accelerate, right? You can write, but that's not the best practice. It's better to add the separate codes in different functions. That will make the code more readable and understandable. Okay, similarly for banks, you can write the withdraw function, you can write the withdraw function here, you can write the deposit function, you can write the check function. So you can define the whole banking system with these kind of small functions which represents different features of that particular system. Okay, I hope you have learned a new thing today as well. Okay guys, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching.